In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to perform a rotation using a compass. To perform a rotation, you need to know two things. The first thing you need to know is the center of rotation. In this case, I'm going to use the center as point A. This is going to be a fixed point in which point B is going to be rotated around. When you rotate a figure or a point, you are rotating it essentially around a circle. So the next step that I'm going to do is to use my center of rotation and the point that I am rotating, and I am going to define a radius. Using your compass, construct a circle, and then using your straight edge, create the diameter of your circle. Now, when you are rotating something, if you wanted to rotate B 180 degrees, then B would travel along the arc of the circle until it got exactly to the other side of the diameter, rotating it 180 degrees. So if I wanted to rotate this 180 degrees, my B prime, let's make this a little smaller, would be located right over here. Now, if I wanted to rotate this 90 degrees is 1/2 of 180 degrees. So using your compass, what you are going to do is you are going to construct the perpendicular bisector of the diameter. So stretch it a little more than halfway, create an arc. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. And you are going to create an arc. And that is going to create not only the perpendicular bisector, but it's dividing your circle into quarters. So each section is going to be a 90-degree rotation. So if I wanted to rotate B, let's say 90 degrees, then my new B, we'll call it B double prime, and we'll make it a little smaller, is going to be located over here. If I wanted to rotate it to 270 degrees, then my 270 degree mark would be located over here, and I'll call that B triple prime. So that's how you rotate something around a fixed point. And let me just get rid of some of these lines so you can see exactly what you have created. A was the center of rotation, and then if you take a look, it didn't create those little circles. Here is where 90 degrees would be. Here is where 180 degrees would be. Here is where 270, and this would be 360. We're back to the original point. So this circle is actually not there, and those would be the examples of rotations in increments of 90. Now, you are also responsible to perform rotations for figures that have more than one point. So for example, a triangle. Let's assume we have a triangle here, and let's assume that we have a center of rotation that is, let's say, right here. Now the trick to this one is you're going to remember the center of rotation is going to be the center of your circle. You're going to put the point of your compass at the center, and then you're going to create, if there's 3 vertices, there's going to be 3 separate circles. So we're going to do one at a time. Here, you're going to create a circle. So anywhere along the red arc, this point here is going to rotate around. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to rotate this figure 180 degrees around this point. If I rotated 180 degrees, then what I would do is take my straight edge, create a diameter, and I know 180 degrees is going to be the same as rotating it for half of a circle. So now this point here is going to rotate all the way to the other side, and we'll rotate it here. Let's just label our point so we know what we're dealing with. Let's call this A, so this one over here is going to be A prime. Now you're going to do the same thing for all the other vertices. I'm going to erase a circle so you can see it a little better. We don't need the diameter. And let's try it again for a different vertex. Let's call this vertex B, and let's call this one C. Now to rotate B, you're going to put the point at the center, or the center of rotation. You're going to find the distance between B and the center, which is creating a radius, and then you are going to create a circle. Now, 180 degrees, what you're going to do is take your straight edge, you're going to connect B and create a diameter. By creating a diameter, you know that if you take B and you rotate it 180 degrees, so all the way around here, you know B is going to show up right over here. We're going to call it B prime. The last one is going to be C, so let's just do that one. We can erase the circle, we can erase the diameter, and let's do the same thing one more time. Find the center of rotation. You're going to rotate it and find the distance. Find the distance between the center and point C. So something like this. And then from there, you're going to create a circle. Now, 180 degrees. Let's just make this a little thinner. 180 degrees is going to be the same thing as the diameter. So the diameter is going to pass through the center of the circle. Make this a little lower. So C is going to move from, it's being a little temperamental, from here it's going to go all the way around to the other side. So C is going to wind up over here, and we'll call this C prime. Now after you rotate all of your points, you're going to notice you have 3 vertices now. So the last step, to take your straight edge, and you're going to connect each of them. Now remember, a rotation is a rigid motion, so the lengths of the sides of the figure should always be the same.